taking a ride, dropped off my son, just feeling great, feeling really great. You know, my husband recently made some beautiful masks for just different things, and where I was, somebody really loved them and was just so impressed by them. And anytime someone gives me like so much love and joy for a mask that he makes, I always say, you know, let me speak to my husband and let me see if I get you a sample, right? So he'll make the sample, but it's a real mask, but it's as a sample for them. And all we ask is that, you know, if they enjoy it and they love it, to go ahead and post and, you know, give him the love on his, I guess, Instagram. So some people, you know, from that buy his masks, but you know, that's not his job. It's his passion. He's just very talented. So my son, I dropped him off at school, and now I'm heading over to deliver one of these masks. And I had remembered that I played Lotto. So the other day something happened and I wasn't too happy about it, and I told you guys about what I do when something bad happens. So I bought a Lotto card, right? So I go in, I check my Lotto, and guess what? I won. I was so excited. I won $4. It wasn't like it was $1 million or $1 billion, but it made my day. So bought a cup of coffee and, you know, heading home, and now I'm driving through my town, looking around, just feeling great about life. You know, there has been some points that have been really sad and, I don't know, hopeless. But I just have to take inventory. And this is what I tell you guys all the time. You got to take inventory. I remember when I was a little girl, we were impoverished. Like, we had nothing. And we only had each other. And, you know, then growing up and seeing how some of my friends had a lot, some were kind of in the same situation as I was in, you know, I didn't understand it back then. But I understand it now. I appreciate so much every single day, because I must admit, I'm blessed. I remember one time I went to my grandparents' house, and they had this gorgeous house in North Carolina. And I was like, you know, when I grow up, I want a house, and I want this, and I want that. And my grandmother would say, well, you have to work hard. Nothing's given to you. No one's going to knock on your door and hand you a deed. And I used to be like, yeah, I know. You know what's funny? I'm looking at my life now. I'm a late driver. I just got my license when I turned 37, right? But I'm looking at my life now. I think I got everything that I've ever prayed for. And that's kind of crazy to say, because I don't think you should pray for things. I think you should just pray to be thankful. But things that I would say when I was cold, like, can I have heat? But, you know, I have my home, I have driving, I'm alive, I have a family. Sometimes I gotta figure out how I'm gonna heat everything up with 2 nickels and a quarter and $1, but we make it work. And through everything we've ever been through, all our trials and tribulations, it always just seems to work itself out. And I think that's because I always keep my faith, and I keep to who I am, and I don't ever change because someone says something or does something. You know, the other day, someone told me something, and it bothered me. And you know what? Sometimes people say things and it bothers, right? But you kind of shake it off. But it bothered me because I felt like, does this person even know who I am? And that's what kind of shook me a little bit. I keep people in my lives because I love them. And it's kind of funny, like, I meet people all the time. Like, I just met someone today, and she's awesome. And that's why she got a free mask, because she's just full of charisma and life, and she transfers that positive energy every day. Every time I see her, she's great. And so I can honestly say, I don't even think I know her full name, but I love her because she's a gift from God. She is. She truly is. And there's so many people like that in our life. Like in the morning when I drop off my son, so many faces that I just love them. And these are the parents of my son's friends in school. And it's like, I don't know them, but there's something about them, the quality of who they are, that I'm like, these are good people. And there's people like that throughout my life that I cherish and that I keep in my life. And actually, there are people in my life that I've known since I was a little kid, past jobs, that I will not let go of because they just truly mean so much to my life. And sometimes we barely exchange a few words. But then I think back to who were we when we were at that time, and it's too valuable to let go. It really is. It's kind of like a valued keepsake in my heart. You know what I mean? The other thing is, I might not see everyone all the time, but I keep tabs. I always say I'm a troll. When I can't sleep in the middle of the night, because, having children, whoever's a mom out there will say this is facts. When you have children, your sleep pattern changes. So I would normally go to sleep, right? When I had my first son, I learned my lesson. And I'll tell you this, anyone who has kids, sleep when your child sleeps. If you sleep when your child sleeps, you will always be full of rest. Let me tell you. So that's what I did. And then in the middle of the night, like around midnight, I would wake up and make sure that they didn't soil their sheets, or that they didn't fall off the bed, or they didn't have a blanket, or whatever it was. So to this day, I will fall asleep like 7:30, 8 o'clock. I'm like, okay, bedtime. I feel my internal clock kicking. I gotta fall asleep. But then at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, I'm up, and then I go right back to sleep. So in those hours, sometimes, I'm like, okay, now's the time to troll my friends and family. And, it's hard because I used to live in the same neighborhood. And I used to just harass them and call them. But now we have technology that kind of, I feel, created a wedge, a false sense of connection. But nevertheless, I look through and I'm like, oh, wow, their child grew up. Or, oh, wow, look what they're doing. Or, wow, they still got that same smile. And I look through their stuff and I just keep tabs. You know what I mean? And if they are a LinkedIn network of mine, then I'm like, wow, they graduated or they got promoted. Or I keep track because I want to make sure when the day it is that we're face to face and we're talking, I am about your life. I love when I see people and I'm like, oh my God, I like what you just did there. And they're like, oh wow, thank you. Like, you really care. Sometimes my friends will say, hey, I'm doing this. And I'm like, wait, I didn't know that. That feeling kind of scares me because I don't need to know everything. But I want them to feel that I'm checked in. I'm here, I'm present. And the further you are away in distance, that you got to make it apparent that you're still in their lives. The other thing is sometimes I have friends that they go on and they live their lives and I look at them and they have families or they have get-togethers and parties, and I just can imagine the happiness in that room. And I just, in my response, in my comment or my post, I'm like, wow, God bless you. And I really feel that way. So to go back to the original statement, which I didn't want to keep, but I'm just going to keep it so I could get rid of it now. Someone said something to me and I was a little offended because it shows that they really don't know what I'm doing in my life. They don't keep track of my life. Maybe I lost value, which happens. Maybe I was just their friend at that time. And then, they obviously tell me they love me and, everything's good and you take it for a grain of salt. But there's a moment there that's like, okay, no problem. I get it. I remember the other day someone said to me, Fanny, you have 2 kids, right? I was like, actually, I got 3. And I had to laugh at that because they've been checked out that long. My son just turned 5. Well, then I have a friend that she's like, how many kids you got now? 5, 6? That friend is all up in it because everyone's my kid on Instagram, right? But you know what I do with the friend that did that? I say I love them and God bless them. Maybe they got so much in their life that they can't focus. And they can't see outside of what's going on in everyone's life. And I can't hold it against them. Then again, we all live in our own lives, right? And I can't hold anything against anyone, right? The other thing is, I'm always a person that I reach and I branch. So like, when it comes to my cousins, my sister, all these, sometimes I see people, they're like, hey, I know you, you're so-and-so's cousin, or you're so-and-so's sister. And I'm like, yeah, and they get instant love for me. It's like instant credit, because you're good with them, you're good with me. And I feel like I don't want to ever be that person that's like, yeah, I don't like you, I don't know you, I don't want you. No, there has to be a reason. And I choose to forgive it. I forgive it and I give it away to God. The negative energy, God handles that for me. Positive energy, I recirculate that here on earth because I think it's important. And the other day on LinkedIn, somebody I used to work with was like, what are you doing now? Like, you don't have a job listed. And I was like, yeah, I do. It says owner, because I'm owning my life. I had to laugh at that one. And they were like, no, but where do you work? What are you doing? And, you know, I absolutely living the best life, being passionate. Now, every morning I wake up, I'm going to do everything that I want and set out to do. I'm going to create goals and achieve the best part of Fanny that I never ever had the opportunity to achieve. And not only that, I'm going to make sure my kids are focused, my husband feels support, my dogs feel love, the fish has water. I'm just going to make sure that my life feels how it's supposed to feel. And sometimes, you know, like, okay, you work in a hospital, you're a doctor. No, actually, who are you? Who are you specifically, right? You deliver mail, you're a postal worker. No, you're a human. Like, what? Who are you? Can I know you? And that's what I love about the people in my lives. Like, I feel like I can identify, yeah, that's what they do, but this is who they are. And that's an amazing feeling. I found who I am. I'm not going to lose her. And I'm not going to give up my dreams. And let me tell you, the other day when something bothered me and I went out and bought a lotto ticket, yesterday I was like, oh my God, my left hand is itching. And my mother used to say, if your left hand itches, put it in your pocket because money's coming your way. And I won the lottery today. I mean, listen, a girl that wins the lottery, that's pretty lucky in my book. You know, I mean, $4, hey. Put gas in my car, got some coffee, gave something away. It was a positive moment, and I am abundant, and I feel, thank you. Thank you to all of you who take time out of your busy lives to devote a minute or two to listen to my podcast. Let me tell you something. Doing this podcast, it's not easy because you have to let yourself out there. And I'm letting myself out there. And I'm letting everyone be a part of it. And I mean, whether I'm posting my salsa recipe, whether I'm telling you what's different in life, I'm giving you the 411 on just self-love and innovation and full circle, and giving you that attendance so you can be present. Know that I'm giving myself because I want you to be able to take it home, listen to it, and feel good. We have so much time to waste on negativity, but not one moment to waste on positivity. My friend was like, oh my God, every morning I listen to your podcast, and if you don't have a new one, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna listen to this one again because it was funny. And I'm like, really? Thank you. Oh my God, I'm not annoying you? No, on the contrary. That made me feel amazing because, wow, I had people in my town reach out to me like, oh my gosh, I know you don't know me, but we live in the same town and I came across your Facebook, which led me to your webpage, which led me to your podcast, and now I'm hooked. And I was like, what? And I'm like, where do you live? Oh my goodness. So I looked them up. They live in my town. And they literally told me that, like, oh, well, what I do is on Sundays I go to church. And when I come home from Sundays and I'm cleaning my house, I put you on. I'm like, what? Oh my gosh. Oh, you mean I follow Jesus Christ? Hey, wow. Wow, that gave me so much joy. Listen, whatever you do, okay? Know that everything that you're doing a good job, okay? I'm feeling amazing today. I want to put that amazing energy to you. So wherever you are right now, whatever you're doing, take a moment, take a second. If you're stuck in traffic, if you're on the train, if this is actually Sunday that you're listening and you just left your sermon, if whatever it is that you're doing, I just want you to take 1 second, okay? And I want you to tell yourself this. I'm an amazing human. I have an amazing life. I do. I'm totally loved. I am. I want you to say that to yourself. Because unless you project it, and I want you to say it out loud. I don't care if you're on the train and people are looking at you. Okay? You know that guy right there in the corner? You don't even know what he's thinking. Go ahead, say it out loud so that someone could look at you and be like, what she said? That she's an amazing person. All right, now, she is an amazing person. That's what they're going to say. Real quick, just because of the train thing. So, one of my cousins, I'm going to say her name. So, she's going to get mad at me, but I love her so much. Tina. Remember when we used to take the L train? Oh my gosh. Actually, anybody that's taken the train with me knows I'm crazy. But I think Tina has seen the craziest things that I've ever done. Maybe, I don't know, maybe my boy too. But you know when I'm on the train, I talk to everybody. So they'll appreciate it. They'll hear you saying your sermon. They'll hear you saying how amazing you are. And they're going to be like, why is she so amazing? She's saying that out loud? She must be. And it's true, you are. Okay? Let me tell you why. Did you wake up this morning? So God gave you life. Did you have breakfast this morning? So God gave you food. Are you full? Was it too much, that bagel, that you had to wrap it up and put away for later? Well, wow, now you're in abundance. Was it not enough? And now you're hungry, so now you're going to work harder to get what you need to get and go. Okay? Did someone love you today and tell you that they loved you? Did? They did? Excellent. They did it? Guess what? I love you so much. Okay? My cup is filleth over, and you can have whatever filleth over, and you can have my cup. It'll fill again. Okay? If you're walking around here, I have a friend, oh my God, from back in the day. This person breaks my heart when I think about this person. I love him so much. He used to tell me, nobody loves me. And I used to be like, what am I, chopped liver? I'm right here standing next to you. That's the thing, right? How we see ourselves. The other day, I was feeling so crappy. I sat in front of my son. I was like, such a loser. He was like, what? He was like, Mom, that means I'm a loser. This one's a loser. That one's a... I was like, oh, I don't know why I said that. I said, ignore me. Forgive me. I didn't mean to say that. I'm not a winner. I'm an amazing human. He was like, that's right, Mom. Don't ever say anything. And I was like, oh my God, he heard me. You know, when you talk to yourself, you beat yourself up the worst. Forget about the bullies in school. Forget about your overbearing boss. Forget about your pushy aunt. Maybe that's me. You will beat yourself up the most. Do me a favor. I want everybody to take their left hand on their right shoulder, their right hand on their left shoulder. Squeeze yourself tight and love yourself. Okay? I'm always going to love you. If you want to come at me, come at me. You can always reach out to me, all of you. But at this point, know how to get to me. You could reach out to me by email, whatever it is, comment. I love all your comments. The other day, I had these 2 comments and they came in as spam, and I was like, delete. Wait, let me read them. And this lady and her husband were so adorable in their comment. I'm not gonna say their names, but I already responded. And God bless you, and I love you too. And thank you so much for listening. She's so funny. She said to me, she wants to start her own podcast. I said, baby girl, here's the information. Make it happen. let me know when you're out. I will follow and listen and support you. That was an amazing thing to hear, because she's ready to free her mind, right? On that note, thank you so much for joining me on this journey of Fannytastic Life. Bye now.